PC fam, what's the word? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. Chilltown,
Yep.
what's going on? What's the vibe? How you feeling?
No, we good, Joe. We running. We running today. Busy today. Running all day. So we doing it.
Yeah, chill. You sound a little distant. You got the proper mic hooked up.
Do I have my microphone on? Hold on. Let me make sure that my stuff is legit. Let me turn my microphone up. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, it's still sound a little distant. I mean, I can hear you I can hear you clearly though.
Hold on, let me mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's a little better. That's a little better. All right. But, yeah. So yeah, chill. Hey, you know what I was thinking, chill? I want to kind of ask you this. What is your basketball philosophy? You know what I mean? Like if like say if you were a GM or a coach of a team and you know it was like first day, training camp, and you were to come to the squad, like if I was on the team, what would your philosophy be? Like how are we going to be successful this year? What are we about? You know what I mean? What is our team's goal mission?
My philosophy has always been build your team around the big man. And I still think that that's prevalent today. So if I was a GM, it doesn't make a difference where I am. If I'm a GM, the first thing I'm asking when I walk into training camp is who is running this place? Who is the man? Who is our franchise player? And how are we building around this franchise player? So if my franchise player is a guard, if I'm building around a guard, I feel like, okay, this guy is the future of the franchise. Do I build my unit around him? So, for example, Steph Curry or Luka. How do I build my unit around Luka?
Mm-hmm.
How do I build my unit around Giannis? I feel like I could build my unit around Luka better than I can around Giannis because Giannis' skill set offensively is a little bit more limited than Luka. So I feel like I can build my unit around him a little bit better than I can Luka. A guy like Steph Curry, I got to be very conscious about who I build. I got to be very conscious about how I build my unit around him. Do I need a big man? Do I need a big man that just rebounds? Can I get a big man who can play the modern game? Do I need a big man like Looney? I think that I'm going to go with a big man that's more of a modern big man who can stretch the defense, who can rebound, who can defend, but who can also play make as well. Not just from a passing standpoint, but overall playmaking, getting to the rim, rebounding, playing defense. All of these things involve playmaking. So then if I got my big guy, I got my lead guard, and I got my big guy, then I could put the other pieces around him. And then what's going to be our identity? The thing that I found out in basketball, I don't care where you play. If you play in grammar school, whether you play in high school, whether you play in college, whether you play in the NBA, whether you play in Europe, I don't care where you play. It's the same. It's always been the same, and it'll always be the same. Defense and rebounding wins, no matter where you are. I don't care how much you scored. I don't care how good you look. If you're not defending and you're not rebounding, we're not going to win. That's going to be my mantra. So I need a bunch of tough guys. And if I don't have that, I got to go get that. And I know that the money is something that, is factored in, but I definitely have to do that. Otherwise, my team isn't going to be really good at all. Did I lose you, Ox? I think I lost you.
Nah, you good. I was on mute. Okay. My bad. Yeah, but that was, it's a good answer, Chilltown. I wanted to just hear, it's easier to talk hoop with somebody when like, oh, well, I understand why you say that because I know what you value. You know what I mean? I know what your intentions are. I know, I know you like this style. I know, right. So always good insight. In the meantime, no chill. I know there was 4 games last night.
Yep.
We had 4 games. We had the Warriors and the Heat. Did you check that game out?
I did check that game out. And to be honest with you, Big Ox, I wasn't impressed at all with the Miami Heat. No Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero, no Kevin Love, no Duncan Robinson. So with those guys off the floor, now guys like Terry Rozier, guys like Jaime Jaquez, they had to do more. Bam has to do more offensively, which I love the fact that Bam has expanded his game. Right? I love the fact that Bam has expanded his game He now has added the long ball to his game. I think that's dope. But the fact that those other guys aren't around, he compliments them a lot more, and they compliment him. So Buckets plays a lot better off of Bam. Tyler Hero plays a lot better off of Bam. A lot of dribble handoff action that wasn't going on last night. Duncan Robinson, a lot of dribble handoff action, a lot of screen action coming off of pin downs. Bam making decisions. That didn't happen last night because those guys weren't on the floor. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors basically played their game. Steph Curry still knocking down the long ball, getting Looney involved. I thought that was big. I feel like the Miami Heat, people asking them to do something that was astronomical again. And I think I just don't think it's realistic, Big Ox, to be honest with you. I don't think, as good as Miami was last year, to be able to duplicate that with a lesser roster, because one of your main plugs is a rook, and Jaime Jaquez. One of your better offensive players, Tyler Hero, is in and out of the lineup. So when you asking these guys,
Hero stays hurt.
Yeah, when you asking these guys to do more when they haven't done enough during the regular season, and now the playoffs come. This is the second year in a row too with Tyler Hero. When you asking them to do more, it gets tricky, man. It gets really tricky. Actually, it's the third year in a row, I think, because I think he got hurt in 22 against Philly. Yeah, I think he got hurt against Philly, and he didn't play against them either. Buckets had to go into Philadelphia and put 50 on them in order to force game 7. So I really don't know what to do with this team. I think that a lot of the expectations on the Miami Heat, it's fool's gold considering what they did last year. That's not something that's going to be able to be duplicated again. It's not, because the teams in the Eastern Conference got better.
Yeah, they
Boston got better. Cleveland got better. These teams all got better. So
Indiana got better. New York got better.
Yes, the Knicks. All of these teams got better.
Orlando got better.
All of these teams got better, Big Ox. And you're not just going to be able to. I don't think that you're just going to be able to show up just because what you did last year, you got the same dudes. No, not when other teams got better.
Right.
No.
Facts. Okay. So there was that game, Miami and the Warriors, and then we had the Thunders and the Pelicans. The Thunder and the Pelicans. Did you check that one?
I did check that one. I caught the second half of it. I didn't catch the whole game, but I caught the second half of it, and they basically fought back to get in the game. They were down 20 at one point. They fought back to get in the game, and I just love the fact that Willie Green has Zion at the lead guard. I love that. And the reason why I love that is because he does so much for them when he's handling the basketball out high, because he attracts so much attention, and he can play make. He can pass, he can get to the rim, beating up on your big man, which is what he did last night. Beating up on their big man, getting to the rim, getting CJ involved. Not only getting CJ involved, Trey Murphy, one of the better sharpshooters in the game. I love that about him. And I mean, Willie Green, I feel like he needs to be commended for putting Zion at the lead guard, because there aren't many coaches who would do that. They probably stick Zion in the dunker spot, maybe put him in probably the mid post and work him that way. Now, that would be good, but last night, having him at the lead guard and them sagging off of him getting downhill, the defense just collapsed. When they went on that run, the defense just collapsed, and he's kicking the ball out to Murphy. He's kicking the ball out to CJ, and they just got a bunch of good looks. So even though they lost, I really like what I saw from New Orleans, but ultimately Oklahoma City and Shea. I mean, I felt like Herb Jones did as good a job as he possibly could do on Shea, and also he switched on to J-Dub last night, who has advanced way more than I figured for a second-year player. I did not think that he could be this good. I mean, I didn't realize that yet. I didn't realize that last year he finished second in Rookie of the Year. So with that being said, him getting downhill, him as a one-on-one player, he gave Herb Jones all Herb Jones was looking for, but Herb Jones also made it difficult on him too. So I feel like Oklahoma City, if you get them in a 7-game series, you can exploit a lot of their mismatches, a lot of their deficiencies, like what New Orleans did last night. When you put Zion at the lead guard, you make things a lot more difficult for a team like Oklahoma City. So they escaped last night with the W. 100% they did. They escaped.
And then a game that got really interesting, I believe, went to double overtime.
Yep.
Was the Bucks and the Lakers
Without
LeBron.
Without LeBron.
So, what does that show? I mean, the Lakers pulling that off right now. You know, right now especially in the West, they need every game they can get. So to pull that one out, I mean, what does that say about the Lakers?
It says that exactly what LeBron said about them. We can, on any given night, we could beat anybody, but we could also get blown out on any given night because the Lakers have been the model of inconsistency all season. They haven't really done anything consistent, right? They've had guys who played a lot. I mean, Anthony Davis in the top 10 in the league in minutes this year, but they haven't really done anything consistent enough where I really feel like this team is a top team in the Western Conference. You know, they pass the basketball, but they also turn the basketball over at a high rate too. When James is off the floor, they got to play different. They don't play the same way when James is on the floor. James is the dominant ball handler. It's kind of like when Luka is on the floor. They don't play the same way when Luka is off the floor. So with Austin Reeves, he's freer. He's got more freedom to do whatever he needs to do. Same thing with D'Angelo Russell. He's got more opportunity to rock. Now, he's got opportunity to rock with James off the strip that James attracts a lot of attention. But when he has the ball, like last night, him getting Damian Lillard and switches and basically just going after Dame. And they did a good job on Dame defensively. Forcing Dame into the paint, forcing Dame into shooting tough shots, making tough shots. I think he went almost 9 for 30 last night. I thought they did a real good job on him and forcing him into tough shots. Bobby Portis is one of those guys that if you don't have him on your team, I don't know how far you're going to go because he's necessary. He was one of those guys who kept them in the game last night. But it wasn't that long ago that we was having a conversation about Giannis and Anthony Davis. That really wasn't that long ago. A lot of people, they think that it was like a decade ago or 8-9 years ago. No, it wasn't. It was not too long ago that we were having, and it was a serious conversation between Giannis and Anthony Davis. What happened was he got to the Los Angeles Lakers. He started breaking down. Giannis ended up winning, and Giannis ended up passing him. But before that happened, we were having a really legit conversation. He was in the top 3 in the league in Defensive Player of the Year. Not only was he in the top 3 in the league in Defensive Player of the Year, he was also, I think he finished 3rd in league MVP votes in 18.
What? But you saying that to say what?
I'm saying that to say that I don't think that the conversation between Anthony Davis and Giannis, I think that Giannis has passed him, but I just want to make sure that it's clear that there was a conversation between these two. There was a conversation between these two.
4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, and it was a serious conversation. And Anthony Davis played the way he played yesterday, getting on the glass, not just getting on the glass, protecting the rim, not just protecting the rim, playing in the mid-range, playing in transition, getting one-on-one. He reminded us that this was actually a conversation between those two.
So there's only one reason I could see for you to even say that, Chilltown. Can the Lakers ride AD back to the Western Conference Finals?
Well, I said before the season started that they were going to go as far as Anthony Davis took them.
But recently you've been out on the Lakers, right?
I have been. Yes, I have been because of.
So was last night enough to change your mind back?
No, because again, like I just mentioned, Ox, they haven't really done anything consistent this season. They'll beat Boston, but then they'll turn around and lose to Portland. They'll go on a 3-game winning streak. They'll beat Philly. They'll beat Cleveland, and then they'll beat Minnesota. But then they'll turn around and they'll lose to a lesser team. So they'll lose to Utah. They'll be in a dogfight with Utah. So the fact that they haven't really done anything consistently, that's why I can't get on board with them marching through the Western Conference like they did last year. Even though they are built for the postseason, I can't get on board with them. I can't get on board with them marching through the Western Conference like they did last season.
Okay. So the 4th game of the night, which we'll just talk about this game specifically because we'll get deeper into Mavs talk a little later. So, but did you see this game? If you could call it that.
I watched it. I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch some of it. And I kind of see where you are with De'Aaron Fox because he looks like the kind of point guard who, one, he could get whatever he wants whenever he wants. If he wants to get downhill, he could get downhill. If he wants to get to the mid-range, he can get to the mid-range. I feel like he should be a better defender, though. And the reason why is because that could help this team so much. Like, he falls asleep a lot on defense, and I saw him getting back cut last night. In addition to him getting back cut, I saw his man go into the offensive glass. Like, stuff like that is the difference between us winning and losing. Stuff like that where he's falling asleep on assignments or he's not recovering when he gets beat last night. And don't get me wrong, when you got Kyrie Irving in front of you, I mean, I think that's a completely different animal. However, he didn't have Kyrie Irving in front of him all night. He didn't take the assignment. He took other assignments where he was covering Luka, where he got switched on to Tim Hardaway Jr. And I felt like he was missing a lot of assignments. And I feel like De'Aaron Fox should be better defensively than what he is. The action that they run got stagnant. And I feel like the reason why it got stagnant was because Sabonis doesn't look at the rim as much as I would like him to. If Sabonis looked at the rim more and knocked down that mid-range more, he would keep defenses a lot more honest than what he does. And he would give them a dynamic that would make them so much better than what they already are. So much better. But when he doesn't look at the rim, it's almost like it's 5-on-4. And that kind of throws a monkey wrench in what you guys were doing. Like, he got caught on I saw him get caught on the wing yesterday. This was in the first half where he's on the right side of the floor. We got a dribble handoff going on. He doesn't accept the dribble handoff. He takes 2 dribbles right to the mid-range. Ox, he's wide open. He's wide open. He's got to take that shot to keep the defense honest. And he didn't do that. And I feel like the fact that he didn't do that, that kind of hampers. I feel like that hampers Sacramento's offense. And if he could get involved scoring-wise, not offensively, just scoring-wise more, I feel like they'll be much better.
Yeah, I can see that. Thing is, there's a lot of bigs in the NBA that aren't looking at that shot. Right. That still aren't doing half as much as he's doing on the offensive end. So that's the only reason I can give him a little leeway. I do get there's times in the games, like specifically last night was one of those ones where it's frustrating. Like, all right, DeMontis, you got to do more. You know, last night was definitely a frustrating one. Sometimes it's just, you know, it depends. Like, that was a night where I want you to be more aggressive, but other times it's like keep the offense flowing. Other guys got it going. But when we don't got Trey Lyles, we don't got Kevin Huerter, so we don't got a lot of our shooting. DeMontis has to look at the rim to score a lot more than he has been. So, but honestly, I don't think that would have saved us last night, though. To be real, DeMontis being aggressive on the offensive end, looking to score, which he wasn't doing unless he was on the box trying to bully Gafford and Lively. He wasn't attacking like that. We still would have got whooped regardless. That just we wasn't winning that game.
It just didn't seem like you guys had it going, not just offensively but defensively. It just, your switches looked like they were off. Keegan Murray kind of looked lost defensively, and I feel like I'm rushing him, Ox. I mean, I know you turned me on to him, and I know that, you know, he's got a lot of potential to be something serious, but I keep forgetting he's a second-year player. There are things that he doesn't know yet. There are things that he's not aware of yet, and I expect him to know this off the strength that they were as good as they were last season. So I expect him to be better when he's still developing, right? So he's still, I think the terminologies are still tricky for him. He's still late on switches. He still doesn't recognize when a guy is slipping the screen. He still doesn't know how to defend on a curl cut. He doesn't know how to decide whether a guy's going to curl or whether a guy's going to fade. He doesn't recognize stuff like that yet. And I got to give him, I feel like I got to give him more time to understand this stuff. But the flip side to that is Sacramento is a playoff team. So naturally, I'm expecting you to be better now. They aren't Toronto, right? Where they're not a playoff team. They're not Portland, where his brother is, where his brother actually has time to develop. No, that's not going on there. He's on a team where they need him to be good and they need him to develop, kind of like what was going on with the Warriors with Kuminga. And I feel like I got to give him more time to develop. But I'm kind of at an impasse with him.
Yeah, I can see that. Last night was a tough night.
Yeah.
Last night was a tough night. Let me see. We got this super chat from Chill. I'm glad you mentioned that Town Hoops. Chill with the new mic. New chair is next.
It's the same mic, brother. Same mic. Same mic.
Let me see who we got in the back. We got Random. What's up, Random?
What's good?
What up?
Chill. You basically went. I thought we was gonna go viral off your Nuggets take the last time I talked to you. Crazy part, I think they've only lost twice since the All-Star break. But obviously, I'm not really here. I'm here to talk about two things that just recently happened. We didn't have enough time to talk about it on Press Box, but first things first, that Jontay Porter betting story. Obviously, we're still kind of trying to figure out what's going on, other than the fact that if you're trying to, what could be the implications of something like that? Obviously, Jontay Porter's not a big person in the league, he's a two-way player from what I've seen.
Right.
But what are you worried? Obviously, and ironically, the Ohtani stuff's going on at the same time in baseball. But how are you worried about maybe things like this happening in the future, especially in the NBA? Because dear God, a bigger player gets caught up in something like this. Right? How do you feel about that?
I think it's going on. I think that they're doing a good job in keeping it quiet, but I do think it's going on, especially the lesser players, off the strength that these guys don't really get a lot of attention. So Porter, for example, I mean, I think I think he's the third rotation guy, and
he's a backup center. He's a backup center for what I've seen.
And his not over under. I think it was his over under. It went from like 2,000 to 20,000 if he hit I think like 2 shots or some nonsense like that. I mean, of course, that's a red flag because you ain't never done nothing like that. So immediately, that's going to be a problem. Now, I think it's irresponsible on these dudes' part, knowing that if you get caught up in something like this, you're risking your career. Is your career really worth $25,000? Is your career worth $30,000 when a guy like Porter, who can play as a big, he can probably play 8-10 years? Is it really worth $25,000 extra dollars? You can make that money. You don't have to worry about betting action. You don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. And I feel like when these guys get caught up like they're doing, I think it's some bad guys in the league. And if they are doing it, they're just going to find different ways to do it and use guys like Porter for an example of how not to do it. But then there's a lot of smart guys in the league too that know I don't want nothing to do with that because I'm not trying to risk my career for $25,000, $30,000. No, I'm not doing that.
It was crazy because I think maybe he had like 2 unders that both were like Ox. But I'm telling you, millions of like somebody put in the chat, which I was going to say, somebody put a $80K on a 6 parlay with him on all his unders, and he hit it, paid out millions. Maybe if that happens once, that's crazy. And it happened twice, and both times he left the game because of an injury.
He did it. Yeah, right.
So obviously Vegas ain't trying to lose money. So that's why I was worried. I was like, God, if this was like a bigger player, let's not even use like a super duper star. But let's just say it's Jamal Murray, for lack of a better term. If Jamal Murray gets caught up in something like this, like if it does come out that Ohtani was caught up in something like this, baseball could be Ohtani's their LeBron.
Yes.
So if it found out that Ohtani was betting like this, Ox, how am I supposed to look at baseball no more?
Well,
you remember, Chill? I was wondering. Remember, I believe I said this to you. Taking that because he got that big contract and he's taking $2 million every year, right? And he's going to get it all at the end. Remember, I was saying, I was like, you got to take a lot. I need more than 2 every year. Like I understand having a lot on the back end, but give me 10 every year because you never know what's going to happen. Now I'm understanding why he was okay just taking 2 every year. Because he getting some gambling money on the side.
It's the way it looks.
Don't forget
the way it looks.
Don't forget, Ox. He already got paid once because baseball, all the contracts are guaranteed. So he got paid once just for the Dodgers to talk to him. Then he got paid again on a contract extension. So he's living pretty. And then once he's done with the Dodgers, he's getting. We're talking maybe $100 million checks. From the Dodgers, but it looks so fishy. You're saying your friend, your mind you, the interpreter apparently has been his friend since they were kids.
Right.
So you tell me your friend ran up $4.5 million tab? Where you getting that money from? Where you getting that money from?
Is Michael Porter Jr. at all involved in this?
From everything I've seen, no, not at all. But it's the implication of it, man. It looks really bad, especially with the way that Jontay was doing it. It looked horrible. Like it's like they never talked to him. It's something you see like a movie, and like a really bad sports movie. What he was doing.
I mean, to run up a $4.5 million tab, it's not like he ran up, $100,000 tab and paid it off. No, he ran up a $4.5 million tab. So what he was doing possibly was letting whoever the bookie was know that, this is my man. I'm good for it. This is where I can get the dough. With Ohtani, maybe possibly not having any idea what was going on. It wasn't like, right. $500,000 was missing, and then another $250,000 was missing, and then another $700,000. I mean, was it all at once? Was it a $4.5 million tab at once, or was it over the course of time? Because I'm having a difficult time with a guy who Ohtani is from what I'm understanding, he's very particular about his bread. So with him being particular about his bread, I'm pretty sure he's going to notice 300,000 missing.
It's too much money. Missing. I don't care where you from. Like I saw somebody in the comments. That's too much money. That could be in pesos. 4.5 million pesos. I'm asking questions.
Yeah, he's gonna see that, and it's not gonna be. No, it's gonna be, what the hell's going on here? And now the bad part about this is now you got me involved in this. He might not have nothing to do with this. He might not have anything to do with this. And now the fact that you done got me caught up in this, now I'm in trouble. We got people talking about, Pete Rose should be back in baseball because if this dude is gambling, because he's got to go, by the way. Just so you know, Random, if this is really going on, he's got to go.
You got to get him out of there.
He's got to go. But I don't think that that's what's going on. I think that his man got him caught up in something that I don't think he had anything to do with. But we're going to find out. Yes, we are.
Wow.
All right, Big Ox, one last question, then I'm out here.
Yeah,
we saw the NFL dropping a Christmas Day game on Wednesday. Like I don't think they respect the NBA at all anymore. For them to say we're gonna put a Christmas Day game on Wednesday, when that's one of the NBA's biggest, in the new rules, because you heard about the hip drop tackle being banned, the kickoff,
which is terrible, by the way.
And then they snuck in we adding a Wednesday night Christmas Day game. I don't know. First of all, I don't like any other than the pandemic, because that was a special circumstance. I'm not trying to watch football every day, and I watch football like crazy. So what does that say to the NBA, man? The NFL's like, we're gonna put, I don't know, man. We'll put Chargers Chiefs on Wednesday night on Christmas Day because we don't care about y'all at all. What does that say to the NBA?
Well, anybody that knows that the NFL, we all know that football is much bigger than pro basketball. We know that. So we know football is king in America.
Yeah, but not on Wednesday. Like on Wednesday?
Even if it's Wednesday, if it's Christmas. I mean, the NFC Championship game was on Sunday, and the NBA schedules games, right? The Super Bowl is on Sunday. What does the NBA do on Super Bowl Sunday? They schedule all their games earlier. Mm-hmm. They don't schedule their games at night on Super Bowl Sunday because they know that we can't compete with the Super Bowl. Same thing with the playoffs. On Championship Sunday, when the AFC and the NFC Championship are going on, they schedule their games earlier. The reason why they do that is because we don't want to compete with football. Now, if you only got one game on Christmas, all right, ain't no big deal. But I mean, for the NFL to have a slew of games, I think that's a slap in the face.
They said they were trying to get possibly 2 games on Christmas, like one in the afternoon, one at night. And I'm sitting there like, I'm worried that the NFL is going to be at risk of overexposure, because what works for football is like every game matters. Right. Big Ox. I don't know how much football you watch, but every 49ers game, it feels like that game in October against the Cardinals, who are trash, that game's going to matter at the end of the year.
So, they'll still matter. It's not like they're going to add 20 games to the season or anything.
They'll still have Ox. They already added 17. You think they're going to stop at 17?
Yeah, they're not going to go too far. But all right, Randall, appreciate you pulling up.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, got another super chat from a Mavs fan. Mavs, Luka, Kyrie said, put some respect on Lively and Gafford. They did it to Jokic and now Sabonis. Top 10 defense and second best offense since February 1st. Mavs second best in West.
What does that top 10 defense mean? I mean, where are we getting that from? Top 10 defense. So we clear. They 20th in the league and how many points they surrender. 20th. That's in the bottom 10. So because you get stops every 100 possessions, I mean, it's not like the Mavs are blowing everybody out. Yeah, they smoked Sacramento last night. They ain't smoking everybody. They're not smoking everybody. And they're in the bottom 10 in the league. They're in the bottom 10 in the league and points given up per game. So what does that say about them?
Yeah. They are 10-6 in March so far. They'll be 10-7 after when was that? Thursday we play them again.
What did we have them at? I think I had them at 14-4, Big Ox, when we ran down that I think I had them at 14-4 when we ran down their schedule. I think it was like
I think not 14-6, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. So all right.
Pretty close. Looking like it's going that way. So you might have caught that one perfect, Chilltown. Let me see. We got Dominic in the back as well. Let's pull him up from the lobby.
What up?
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. What up?
Loud and clear.
What's going on, man? I just kind of have a couple things, Chill and Ox, y'all are the main two that I see on the panel. I just want to kind of get a little clarity on the grenade situation, and then what do y'all mean by Luka and grenades? Because I thought y'all was saying in shot chunking, but I heard it was something more about passing late. So I just kind of want to get a clarity on it so I can have a response to it.
Right. So when I first started calling Luka a grenade launcher, it was more so because I've seen Luka a lot of times dribble the air out the ball and pass to his teammates in bad situations where it's mostly the shot clock running down, or he's really just throwing it because he ended up putting himself in a funky situation. And a lot of times we call those good passes, rush passes, or just based on the assist when it's kind of you giving somebody a ball in a bad situation. That's what I mean by grenades.
Yep.
So I do get the point. I get the point of it, but it's not a totally true statement. It's not. He's not taking and dribbling the ball for 20 seconds of a shot clock this season. Previous seasons, yes, I will agree.
Yes,
I will agree. Okay,
yes,
if you think so, then that's your opinion.
No, it's not. I'm actually watching the Dallas Mavericks play, and yes, he is holding on to the ball and late in the shot clock. Yes, he is doing it.
Yeah, yes, he might have the ball late in the shot clock because the ball has been passed to him. He is not taking the ball down court, dribbling it for 20 seconds, and then giving somebody a grenade.
I watched them play against Denver, and I watched them clean the right side of the floor out 2 or 3 times. I watched them clean the left side of the floor out 2 or 3 times, and he's pounding the basketball. And they got Daniel Gafford on the weak side dunker spot. They got Kyrie Irving at the top of the key. They got PJ Washington in the middle of the mid, right on the weak side of the mid post, and he's basically got a clear out. And then he gets to 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and he gets doubled, or not necessarily get doubled. I take that back. He's going to the basket, and he's now kicking it in the corner because he sees Tim Hardaway sliding to the corner, and it's 3 seconds on the shot clock. That's going on.
Okay, if that was the case, if that's the case, would you feel that their offense would be worse than what it is? Because it seems like if that's the thing, then those are not high quality possessions, if you ask me. Right. If you're telling me that a player is consistently dribbling the shot, but a lot of the times is dribbling the clock out, you wouldn't be ending a lot of possessions with good shots. I think if you look at a lot of the times, I'm not a big potential assist person, but if you just go look at like how many a game it could be, and don't get me wrong, Halliburton's is really high. Trey Young's is really high. I think LeBron also had a high potential assist. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to do that. But if you look at it, and something that you hate, and we have a player on our team that is doing it a lot, missing opens, Tim Hardaway, if he was just to hit his shots, a lot of the possessions that I think you think are grenades, I think is he's still creating an open shot for players, because if you say he's dribbling for 20 seconds, I don't think that would have the 6th ranked offense in the NBA. That's just my opinion.
Well,
I don't think those are high.
Let's make sure we're clear now. I'm not saying that he's dribbling the air out the ball every possession. No, I'm not saying that he's doing that, because he's not doing that.
You're saying there's some possessions.
Yeah, that is going on. That's why he gets put. That's why Tim Hardaway gets put in precarious situations. Kyrie Irving gets put in precarious situations because the shot clock is running out. They have bad possessions, and those bad possessions that they have is when Luka holds onto the ball more than he should. He should get off the basketball. They need to get more action off the basketball, which they don't.
Right. I do agree that more action could happen. I do agree with that. More action definitely could happen, and it definitely could help in certain situations. But I think if you watch the Mavs enough this year, like I'm a diehard Mavericks fan, haven't missed a game. Haven't missed a game in years, so I don't ever miss games. Even when we
Right.
was going through our struggle times with Yogi Ferrell playing, I
Right.
watched all of the
Shout out
games.
Yogi Ferrell.
Yogi.
Definitely shout out
Yeah.
Yogi.
Shout out Yogi.
Definitely
Shout out
He
Yogi.
32.
came to sack too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
32
Very young.
points against, I think it was the Trailblazers or the Kings in the game one time. Yeah, 32, big 32.
Yeah.
But watching the Mavs, I see Luka come out down screens a lot. I see Luka be the picker between him and Kyrie. I see a lot more actions that you wouldn't see last year, and I think that's because they're trying to incorporate ways to get him off the ball more. But a lot of the players defer to him. They don't. I don't want to say Kyrie doesn't defer to him as much, but Kyrie kind of is like, hey, if you getting it going to get you going, go ahead because I'll get going. And then Luka also does the same to Kyrie. I think it works out well. The player that I think they was waiting to stop deferring was PJ Washington. Kyrie came out and said it. Luka wants him to be more aggressive, and I think you're seeing that now. You see PJ Washington yesterday when the Kings was running zone, he posted up right there at the free throw line. It's free little floaters, whatever for the offense to get it going. I just think it's kind of like it's a false narrative in my opinion, to say that somebody's doing something. In my opinion, grenades and things of that nature, and they're so efficient on offense. And then you say all the time, if Luka was averaging about 30 points a game, about 9 rebounds, 9 assists, maybe his efficiency go up and other things. I heard you say that earlier, and I think he's shooting almost 50% from the field, shooting career high 3-point at 37%, really 38%. And shooting career high from the free throw line, which I don't understand why he can't shoot free throws, but he's shooting career highs across the board. Also, why? No, you can't. I definitely can't. It's hard to ask somebody to go 34 points a game, all those rebounds, all those assists, and hit free throws too. I do understand that is a lot.
Right.
It is a lot.
Can't
But
do
I'm just, I do think like that. I wish that you all would. I understand the dislike for his style of play, but I think to kind of make it like they can't win because of that, I don't think it's not a true statement.
Okay, first of all, let's rewind. Let's rewind. Number one, I think Luka is the best scorer in the game. I think he's the easiest scorer in the game. Luka gets guys open in the paint. He does find guys in the paint. I'm not saying that Luka doesn't get off the basketball. My issue with Luka is, and will always be, he shouldn't have to do as much as he does with the basketball in order for them to win. He shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to see 38, 18, and 14. He should not have to do that much. There's no reason why a guy who's got the ball in his hands that much should have to do that much. That's been a recipe for disaster in the past. Sure, Magic Johnson had the ball in his hands a lot, but he was running with James Worthy. He was running with Jabal. He was running with Byron Scott. He was running with those guys. So those guys made life a lot less difficult for him. Unfortunately, Luka is not running with those guys, so he attracts a lot more attention. One, because he shoots the basketball more. Two, he scores more. Three, he's the guy who's not only in the primary ball handler, but the offense runs through him. The offense didn't run through Magic, right? The offense ran through Jabal, and they played fast. So when he was in transition, he's looking for James Worthy. He's looking for Jabal, who's running. He's looking for Michael Cooper. He's looking for Byron Scott, guys like that. So when you're talking about a guy in Luka who does that much, we've seen in the past James Harden doing that much. That's not a recipe for winning. We've seen James doing that much. He had to come off of his game and allow other guys to get involved. Otherwise, that's not a recipe for winning.
Right. I think, and I don't want to hold y'all up too long because I got one more question for you. I think in that situation, James Harden was up 3-1 or 3-2. They could have won with that style of play. LeBron, I do understand the LeBron side of it, but LeBron also got better teammates and learned how to dial back. I think Luka has dialed back now more because he loves playing with Kyrie. I think he loved playing with Jalen Brunson also, which is why he was okay with dialing back. I think he loved playing with Spencer Dinwiddie, which is why when they had those three guards, literally all we did was just ISO with the three of them. We literally just hunted mismatches and ISO the whole time because those three guards could attack. They could attack whatever mismatch they got. And Spencer Dinwiddie at that time was playing fantastic as a third option. And you had your role players hitting shots with Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock. You had those players hitting open shots. So when those three players are attacking and they constantly putting a lot of pressure on, people, he didn't have to do as much. But right now, I don't want to. I feel like he's doing less. I feel like he's came out and said multiple times that he loves playing with Kyrie because he can play 40 minutes and it doesn't feel like he's played 40 minutes because he's off the ball more. He's letting Kyrie cook. He's letting other players, get going. And I do understand. Like you would do less if you had a better team. Jason Tatum doesn't do more because he has a really good team around him, and I think that's a credit to Brad Stevens, for getting all those players in and putting people around Jason Tatum to make his job easier. Because now when the playoffs start, it will be easy for him, and he can probably kick it to another, notch and turn up more and help the team out more. So I do understand. I do understand that logic. I do understand the logic. Ox, I know you're big on women's basketball, so I just want to ask you: have you seen a player like? Because I'm kind of following it the last 2-3 years. I've been following it more. Caitlin Clark definitely got my attention more on the women's basketball, college basketball.
Yeah.
JuJu, she's impressive. Like she's very impressive. I feel like she turned USC around. I don't know if they were good last year, so I don't want to speak and say they wasn't. But I feel like she's turned USC around in a year.
Yeah, she got USC going up. I like JuJu. She got confidence. She's not afraid to shoot the ball. She's gonna get better though. She's young, so I just like what she's showing as far as her confidence and style of play and what she's capable of doing. But I think this is really just the beginning. Like she's about to learn a lot more these next couple of years playing college ball. So I'm excited to see how good she really is. I think she's a lot better than this.
Can anybody beat South Carolina?
Actually, I have South Carolina losing to Indiana on my bracket.
Okay, I saw Indiana play last week, or the first round. I saw them play the first round,
and I think South Carolina is great. It's just I just got a feeling about it. I just got a feeling it's not no knock to them. I'm Coach Staley's biggest fan. I love South Carolina, but I just sometimes get a feeling when I seen the team play before. I'm like, you know what, they might could do it. So that's all.
Who do you think? And our last one, I don't want to hold people up. This might be more people in the back. Who do you think is winning in the women's side?
I got Texas.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, brother.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Talk to you. Absolutely.
Chill, man. I love y'all takes on the panel, man. I just hate the way y'all be doing my boy Luka sometimes, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. But we'll see y'all again Friday, Oxen. We got another belt for y'all.
Later.
All right, man. Got another belt for us. It's crazy. Okay, let me see. We got Shepherd Sam's. There we go.
What up?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What up?
Hey, man, I told y'all, man. I told y'all Saturday, man.
Told us what?
I'm getting the no fear, man. I'm getting the no fear. The Mavericks, I'm getting the no fear, man. We're one of two teams to only beat the Nuggets. Granted, it was a circus shot, but hey, that's a skilled shot. We played them well the whole game. If we can knock Jokic out of his game, we can knock any other big off their game. So we're not worried about that. That's why we're handing y'all another dub. Sorry, Alex. Sorry. But we're gonna win that game. And really, PJ Washington starting to hit his shots because people said, "Oh, he's not hitting his shots." After that, he went dark on all his social media, and all I saw was shots at the gym. And the next game, he was making all his shots. Kyrie's helping Tim Hardaway Jr. get his confidence back, instilling it in him again, being a great leader. And like I said, bro, as long as we don't match up with the Pelicans, bro. Chill. I'm gonna keep on saying this, bro, and you're gonna keep on hearing this the whole time. I don't want to see them. If they're fully healthy, I don't want to see them because they can put Herb Jones on Kyrie, and then Luka. What? Who you putting on Luka? You still got Trey Murphy you can put on him. You can put B.I. to slow him down. You got a bunch of length. You still got Herb Jones. Like you got all those guys to come in at him. That's why
it's like listening to people. It's like listening to Chris Tucker say Debo coming. Whenever y'all dudes bring up the ball, it's like y'all don't want nothing to do. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Another thing is,
I get it.
Another thing is they can match our size too, which is a big thing. That's how we've been winning all these games. If you see this past month, we shot like 33% from three. But then I heard Jason Kidd after the game, and he's like, "Yeah, I just think our shots weren't falling because we've been concentrating so much on defense." And I was like, that makes sense because if you're giving more effort on the other side, your legs are going to go way, way faster. So now we're starting to get that through. Like I said, I'm super confident, and I think because Luka is superhuman and so is Kyrie at points, and like the person before me said, PJ Washington getting aggressive, is really going to change things, because I think that's when we unlock our offense. Like if he's hitting shots, if he's getting to the rim, if he's kicking out and still making those floaters, our offense is unguardable. And then all we have to do is, because people's like, oh, we don't play defense. The past 2 months, we've had the 7th ranked defense in the NBA.
That's a fair point. But check it out, Shepard. Your mic is really got a real bad echo in it. So I'm gonna have to. You pretty much got your takeoff though.
Yeah, that's it, man.
All right, cool. All right, appreciate you, Shepard.
Yes, sir. No problem. Have a good one.
All right, next time if you got some headphones or something, maybe that'll help out.
I got you for sure.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the Mavs have been impressive. I can't deny that. Just because they beat the hell out of us last night, you're not gonna get me up here saying things that aren't true. I've seen what the Mavs have been doing. I was a fan of the moves they made during the trade.
Yeah,
I just wasn't sure.
Tricky. It's just tricky right now, because if you look at their crew, I mean, I don't want to overreact. The only reason why people talking like this about them is because of Luka. Let's not forget, they're a game out of the 8th spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're also a game and a half out the 4th spot. So this could go either way with this team. This is not a team. I had them in the play-in tournament anyway, and I had them in the play-in tournament off the strength that I thought the Western Conference was going to be pretty competitive. And with the Western Conference being what it is, I not that I thought they'd be bad. I just thought that the Western Conference was going to be real good, and they were going to get caught in the logjam. That's what I thought was going to go on, and I feel like that's what's going on right now.
Well, I'm looking at it.
That's really what's going on.
I'm looking at it, Chill, and I'm starting to see best case scenario is Dallas moves into the 5 seed. That's best case.
Best case scenario. If they move into the 5 seed, they'd be. Let's see. That means they jump New Orleans and they'd have to play the Clippers, who I have no faith in whatsoever. So if they end up, playing the Clippers in the first round, that would not surprise me if they.
But no, I'm talking about the Clippers move. The Clippers move down. New Orleans and Dallas go to 4 and 5. Clippers are 6. You know,
so we're a better matchup.
Yeah, we're 7.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get OKC.
Yeah.
New Orleans and Dallas could take care of each other. Hopefully, Dallas can knock off New Orleans. And then boom, that sets us up for the playoffs. You know, we in there, Chill. That's all we need. That's best case scenario.
This is what I'm talking about, Big Ox. Like Black Lenore, Chill. Tell us you're a Mavs hater without telling us you're a Mavs hater. This is what I mean, Ox, when I talk about, if you don't think that their team is the best team in the league, if you don't think this guy is the best player in the game, you hate them. Well, I'll tell you what, Black Lenore, I can't stand the Mavericks. I think you dudes are whack. I don't think that you dudes, if you make the playoffs, I think you're getting bounced in the first round. How about that?
Well,
let's put that on your mind.
So is that your take, Chill? Because that's what I was just about to ask you, because that's the title of the show. I wanted to get to this before we get to the rest of the lobby. I want to know exactly how you feel about them.
I really don't. I don't feel like that about them, but I'm sick of these dudes who talk about them like we should be talking about them like we talk about Denver. We should be talking about them like we talk about the best teams in the Western Conference. They're not like that, because if they were that, they would be at the top of the league. Sure, you can beat a team. They played Denver a couple of weeks ago, and before that, and before that, I think they played them like 2 months ago. So with that being said, it's not that difficult to beat me once and then again 2 months later, as opposed to 4 times in a week where I have solely to focus on you. I don't have to focus on anybody else but you. I think it's way different. When you're doing that. So I'm not looking at the Dallas Mavericks, like I said, like these dudes. If you don't think that they're the best team in the league, if you don't think Luka's the best player in the league, you're a hater. Well, I'll tell you what. You want that energy, I'll give it to you. Luka sucks. How about that?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Let's see who we got. Let's see. Go James. What's up?
Peace, God.
What's good? Peace, man. Hey, Luka ain't never showed me nothing in the playoffs.
He has. He showed me he can get busy. Yes, he has. He showed me he can get busy. Yep, he has shown me that.
He do the same thing in the regular season, put up good numbers. That's it.
I mean, he puts up damn good numbers. I mean, he did take them to the West Finals, and he played really well against Golden State. Golden State was just better. There was really nothing that they could do against Golden State. Same thing when he was playing against the Clippers. I mean, Kawhi Leonard wanted nothing to do with him. Nothing to do. And to be honest with you, I don't really blame him. But yeah, with that also being said, I mean, I won't say that Luka doesn't perform in the playoffs, because he gets busy in the playoffs. 100% he does.
Yeah. No, but my point to that was if you were talking bad about Jason Tatum, no one would call you a hater, right? But since you're talking about Luka, and it's the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
what has Luka done for us lately in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
So either way, I call because I need to shed some tears about my Heat. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous. I don't know what was gonna happen, man. Duncan Robinson just got hurt. We're not healthy. Jimmy's not playing he's playing every other game. We don't got the veteran of Udonis and Kyle Lowry no more. We got some young dudes out there balling, but it's scary. It's the playoffs, and oh my God, I know we're gonna make it because I'm not worried about Atlanta and Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they're scaring me, man. You think the Heat could do what they did last year, be an 8th seed and make that run?
I think that's the problem, Goat. That's the problem right there. What we saw last year was an anomaly, and because we saw that, people automatically think, well, they could do it again. I think that's ridiculous to think that, man, because I don't think this Heat team is as good as last year's Heat team. I don't think that when I'm looking at this crew, what they're going to have to do, they had bad offense last year. This year, their offense is just as bad. The process of them being bad offensively, they're going to have to do what they did last year. Turning up their offense in the playoffs, shooting 40+% in the long ball. Jimmy Butler going for 35 and 50 and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, that's a tall task, man, for this crew. Tall task for this crew. And don't get me wrong, Bam has gotten much better. I'm a huge Bam fan. I think Bam's going to be an All-Pro this year. But with that being said, this crew, what you asking them to do, I think is astronomical from what happened last year. I think that's too much. Too much.
You sound like a hater.
Oh boy, I can't. Jimmy Butler sucks. Bam is whack. Get Miami off my TV. No, I'm good.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, man. Because I had the idea that by this point in time, Caleb Martin would have gotten himself into the flow of the game. It doesn't look like he's gotten himself into the flow of the game, right? Duncan Robinson was playing very well, so to lose him now is kind of like, oh no, we kind of need you. And Bam and Jimmy are always in and out of the lineup every other game. And this is not the time. We're at the end of March. We're about to kick into April, and we need to have a good chemistry going into the playoffs. And I'm so nervous, man. My wife's a Knicks fan, so she rubbing it in with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Let me ask y'all a question. Is Josh Hart the funniest NBA player out there? Have anybody seen Josh Hart troll the teams? Y'all ever seen Josh Hart trolling?
No, I have not. But
You
I
guys
do know that he's necessary, though. I know that.
In the NBA, bro, he be trolling people left and right. He was trolling Mikal Bridges the last time they beat Brooklyn. But man, my Heat are hurting me, man.
I do remember that goal. He did. He said it's much better over here than it is over there. Kind of like when we was I do remember hearing him say that. Yes.
But one last thing, so I can get back on topic and I can get up out of here. What do you think about Mike Beasley saying Bam is the only person to beat him one-on-one?
That don't surprise me. But understand, Bam is playing in a system. Like a lot of these dudes playing systems, they look different in systems as opposed to when you just turn them loose. Like James Harden, like Luka. When you turn these guys loose, you see a different skill set. Bam is playing in a system where a lot of dribble handoffs, not just a lot of dribble handoffs, a lot of down screens, a lot of pin downs, stuff like that. So you're probably not going to see a lot of what he can do offensively. You're going to see what they're doing in that system, right? So if Bam was able to expand his game, like if he was in Portland or if he was in Toronto or something like that, where they turned him loose, I mean, I think Bam's a damn good one-on-one player. Damn good.
On top of that, go James. Like he's not the only person to beat Mike Beasley one-on-one. I don't care what nobody says. Mike Beasley acting like nobody's ever beat him one-on-one is a lie. It's a lie. There's nobody out there that's never lost one-on-one. Mike Beasley's not the first one. Mike Beasley is dope. Don't get me wrong. I was talking about earlier how Mike Beasley had me in complete awe when I was 17 years old. I'm a fan, but bro, I'm not buying that. If that was on the clearance rack, I wouldn't buy it.
Well, hey, that's the rumors. That's the word in the NBA that he doesn't lose one-on-ones at all. Okay. So, and I've heard the narrative on him. He played both GOATs before, so he's beaten both GOATs.
Well, I was about to say, the narrative on him. I'm your favorite player's favorite player.
Yeah.
So that's the narrative on him.
Yeah.
I'm your favorite player's favorite player. So
yeah, but
that's how praise go when you busting that dude ass and he like, yo, this is my favorite player right here.
Yeah. He said Bam's the one though, fellas. Y'all be good, man.
Peace, God. Peace.
All right, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me get to a couple of these super chats.
Yep.
Shepherd Sound says past 2 months have the 7th ranked defense.
Giving up 116 a game. That's good enough for 20th in the league.
Good for them. Someone random says, "Chill, you take haters too seriously. It's not just Mavs fans. That's what being a fan is. You want your team in the spotlight. I'm biased. You either a fan or a hater."
Yeah, I can dig it. I do. I understand. I do. It's kind of like, to be honest with you, Ox, it's like a chick telling you, you think I'm ugly. I really don't think you're ugly. I think you're nice looking. But if you keep saying it, you know what? Your nose is kind of big. You know what? You do kind of smell a little funny. When in reality, I really don't feel like that about you. But now, because we on this, now I got to start nitpicking at you when I really don't feel like that. Now you want me to, now I'm going to end up saying stuff that's really not true. I don't feel like that about Dallas, but I don't want to overrate them neither. And I'm not going to do that. No.
Lee Mack. Mavs fans are just Cowboy fans that change jerseys. Sensitive city. Damn.
Maybe.
Damn. That's how you feel about Dallas, huh? Well, that's how they feel. Let me see who else we got here. We got Emmanuel. What's up, Emmanuel?
Yo, it's good.
Chilling.
Yeah. So I know Chilltown is like the play-in, man, but I'm really interested in on the west side for the play-in with the Warriors and Lakers. Is it the Kings and the Suns in the 7 and 8 right now?
It's the Kings and the Suns in the 7-8 spot right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question is, who are the teams that you got with that 7 and 8 spot for the West and the Eastern Conference, and why?
I think Miami beats Philadelphia. I do, and I just feel like they can just out tough Philadelphia. But I think that's as far as I'm going with them. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if they lost in the play-in. Sacramento and Phoenix, I don't know if I love that matchup, but I've seen Sacramento throw Phoenix in the hole, 20 in the hole, because they play fast and they can match Phoenix, and they got a lead guard. I feel like in a one game playoff, I feel like Phoenix's biggest, with the exception of KD and Devin Booker, Phoenix's biggest strength is them rebounding with Nurkic. Well, Sacramento got a glass cleaner to cancel that out. So if they have that, I feel like they could do the other stuff with Phoenix. So I think that they can handle them. And then Phoenix will have to play the Lakers-Warriors winner. And I think the Lakers beat the Warriors because I just think that they're bigger and they're more physical. And I just think they're a better team. I think the Warriors will be out. And I think the Lakers-Phoenix, in a one game playoff, I think the Lakers could beat Phoenix.
Okay. I actually think for the first time in a long time, we won't see a LeBron or a Curry in the playoff this year. I don't think the Lakers or Warriors make it.
If both of those two guys are out, I'm telling you right now, the narrative on these guys is going to get way different, which it shouldn't. It should not be different, but it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be way different.
Yeah. That'd be like the first time since like 2005 we haven't seen LeBron in the playoffs or Curry. Like at either one or the other, like in the playoffs.
Yeah. Because in 22, James didn't make the playoffs, but Curry did. In 21, Curry didn't make the playoffs, but James did. So,
yeah, for sure.
That wouldn't surprise me, though. It really wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened.
Yeah.
I hope both of them miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You say who you had for the 8th seed for the East?
Yeah. I don't have any faith in Atlanta, to be honest with you. I think Chicago beats them, and I think Atlanta's out. And I think that Philadelphia and Chicago. I'm already on record saying this, that it wouldn't surprise me if Philadelphia missed the playoffs, and I think that they're going to miss the playoffs. I do.
Yeah. No Embiid. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, I think that they're going to miss the playoffs. I do.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yep. Peace. Yeah. Let me see. We just got another super chat from someone random. He wanted to clarify, Chill. Also, you're basically part of the media. It's your job to be unbiased and try to speak factual. But us viewers, we're fanboys and embrace it. That's all.
And that's what I try to do. I try not to be biased. I try to be as factual as I possibly can, but there are guys that, I do have a little bit more of a liking to, but for the most part, I do my best to be as unbiased as I can.
Well, I think that's what he's saying, Chill. I think he's saying like it's your job to be unbiased, and so you're supposed to be. He wants you to give a little more grace to the viewers. He wants you to give a little more grace to them for being fanboys and being upset about you not feeling the same way they feel about their team.
No, I'm not going to do that.
That's all he wants. Sorry, someone random.
I suppose. All right.
Someone random. This is not the place for that. We speak facts here.
I suppose.
Especially if you're a fanboy for the Mavericks. I can't believe this. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to turn this into a Mavericks hate show, as you guys were calling it.
Which is not, by the
hating
way.
on the Mavericks.
Which is not. That's not going on.
Let me see if Cowboy Bob will come up here and hate on the Mavericks a little bit with us.
You damn right I would. That's why I'm on. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm tired of these mofos going to talk about they got the 6th best defense in the league. Are y'all serious, man? Yo, I'm not even going to talk about the Knicks. I'm going to talk about how I feel the Mavs are going to do. For me, to tell y'all the truth, I feel that the Mavs are a great team. But if they use Luka more off ball and use Kyrie as the main facilitator and start getting, because you think about it, when Luka is going downhill with the ball out of his hands and he gets it in his transition, the defense collapses quickly. And you even see him sometimes just hot potato it out his hands and he get those assists. That's the best way to use a guy like Luka. But outside of that, I think that they got serious problems when it comes to the bench and when it comes to their bigs. I was even telling Bob last night when he was watching the game. I said, y'all need a guy like Nick Claxton. And they're like, Gafford and Claxton won't work. You do need a guy like Nick Claxton. Whether he comes off the bench or starts, you look at it, he's going to give you a double-double, 7th in defense as far as contested shots as a big. He's going to play defense. He's going to give you at least 65 games. And he's going to give you 20 points, maybe 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 to 3 blocks. He's been averaging this for the last 3 years.
Off the bench?
Exactly.
Cowboys? Whoa.
Yo, he's only worth 11 mil.
Oh, off the bench. If you getting that from that dude off the bench, man, bag him quick.
But he's like 11, 12 mil, and he's a free agent next season, if I'm not mistaken. Because I want him on the Knicks, but the way Mitchell and Ihart is playing, it's not going to happen. So for us, Dallas to me is like that hot chick that everybody likes, but when come around, she looks sloppy. You know what I mean? Like the beginning of the year, everybody like, yo, she's bad. And then like halfway through the season, after midterms, you start to see her start to fall off. Like, yo, what happened to her? Like, that's what I look at as Dallas. So y'all Dallas haters, I don't understand how y'all say y'all got the top 6 defense, but the Knicks has been shutting people down for the entire season with or without OG. We went 10 games without giving anybody 100 points. So for me to sit here and not hate on the Mavs, I'm gonna hate on the Mavs because just like how y'all fanboys of y'all team, how about y'all pay respect to my team, the Knicks? Because when Mitchell comes back tonight off the bench or starts whatever, it's gonna be a problem. And then even when OG comes back, Eastern Conference Finals. I just really wanted to talk to you one more thing about the Knicks. If I don't understand how Tibbs doesn't get mentioned for Coach of the Year with all these injuries, especially if they get 50 wins. I'm still going to push that issue. I understand Boston's doing great, but if you look at Boston's team, they've been together a lot longer, and they don't have as near much injuries as we do.
Right.
Number 2, you look at the Cavs. Everybody's saying the Cavs are playing well. No, the Cavs are not playing well. The Cavs are literally like behind us by like 4 or 5 games as far as the overall success since January. So for me, with Tibbs doing rotations, even running a 4-guard rotation with 1 rebounder, and most people hate that because they're like, Josh Hart shouldn't be there. But what most people don't realize, Josh Hart is a 20% defensive rebounder. You got one guy doing the work of 2 rebounders on average. So he's one guy doing 2 average rebounding skills. So that stuff is unreal. So for me, I wanted to just tell you.
Cowboy, real quick, Cowboy. Lance Mansfield says, boy, shut up. Mavs beat the Knicks. How you feel about that?
Was OG there? Was any of our, you know what? I'll see you guys in the finals if you feel that confident. How about that?
Wow.
Whoa.
And if I see y'all in the finals, I got $1,000 that says y'all will not beat the Knicks.
And so real quick, y'all, I also dropped the link again. So I know some people here asking for the link. I know Mike, you asking for the link. If you're gonna pull up, man, click the link, man. Let's get to it. Cowboy, you got anything else?
Nah, man, I just want to say thank you guys and go New York, go New York, go. Remember,
All right, brother.
Mavs fan, come see me if the Knicks and Mavs are playing in the finals.
He
I
said he got
got
a
bets.
stack. He said he got a
Yes.
All right.
stack on it.
All right, Cowboy.
Salute.
Hey, Cowboy. Hey, with Mitch coming back, Cowboy, I'm ready to jump ship so bad right now.
You want to get on that? Big Ox definitely wants to get on that. On that
chill
train.
with Mitch coming back, chill.
Mm-hmm.
I damn near have to.
Mm.
Damn. I want to profess it right now. I just need to sleep on it. Let me sleep on it. Let me not make no wise decision. No rash decisions. My bad. No rash decisions.
Let's chill out. Yeah,
we definitely want to make
straight
wise
chill
decisions. Yeah, I'm gonna chill.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm leaning that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see real quick though. Who we have? We have Joseph S. How much is Luka's ball dominance due to him wanting the ball versus him needing to for the offense? Y'all keep me entertained every day. Keep it up.
Absolutely. And I just think that Luka is so used to playing that way. So I don't think that he wants the ball in his hands more than that's just his game. That's just who he is. And I mean, I think that you can change your game, which I feel like he's going to have to in order for them to win. But he's been playing on the ball so long that it's going to be hard for him not to do that.
Right. Just for clarification in the chat, I don't mean jump ship like from Kings fan to a Knicks fan. I mean jump ship who I got coming out the East as opposed.
He's getting on that Knicks train. That's what. So
what I'm saying is I want to say I have the Knicks coming out the East as opposed to the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm a Knicks fan. Y'all relax.
Mm-hmm.
I got more integrity than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we read this one already. Lance Mansfield, appreciate this super chat. Appreciate it. We'll get back to the lobby real quick. We'll get back to the lobby, y'all. Y'all be cool. Give me a second. We got one thing we have to do. It's 3:05. So let me get to this. Chilltown.
Mm-hmm.
We have a list from you, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Top 10 guards.
Now, what we doing here is I don't actually have a list, but I want to talk about it because
okay.
What you talked about earlier, Big Ox, was we had a conversation about the NBA now going positionless. So now we just basically gonna have guards, forwards. I'm not sure if we're gonna have a center moving forward. So with that being said, I'm wondering, let's take the lead guard off the table. We're just talking about guards. Lead guard, 2 guard. Just guards all together. Who are the 10 best guards in the game? When I think about it, right? When I think about it, Mike, he just dropped the link already. Scroll up a little bit. He dropped it already. But anyway,
he's not pulling up shit.
He's not. But anyway, who are the 10 best guards in the game? And the 10 best guards in the game are when I think about it, I think Luka. I think Luka's the best. I think he's the best guard in the game. And the reason why I asked this question, so I'm thinking, where does Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell fall in guards? Where do those guys? Is Donovan Mitchell a top 10 guard in the league? Is Devin Booker a top 10 guard in the league? Because if I think about it right now, we're talking about we're talking specifically about guards. So I think Luka, Curry. Let's see. Shea, Ja. Then it gets tricky. Am I putting Ja ahead of Devin Booker?
I know I'm not.
Yeah. Am I putting Ja ahead of SGA? Man, I don't know. That's where it gets tricky.
So chill. This is all started because you're kind of curious about Donovan and Devin. You're wondering where do they lie in the hierarchy of guards in the NBA?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking to myself. Because I had this conversation with Tone about a year ago. Like, where do we rank Steph Curry with all-time guards? All-time with guards. And I'm thinking after Jordan, Bryant, it gets tricky after that. Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, James Harden, Allen Iverson. where does he rank? So again, Luka, Curry, SGA, Anthony Edwards. I don't think Anthony Edwards is ahead of Devin Booker yet. Not yet.
Neither do I.
Donovan Mitchell. Whew. Yes, Magic too. I can't forget Magic. Dwayne Wade. Yeah.
Who are some guys that you came up with in this top 10 that you initially weren't expecting that you had them this high? Like, there's anybody that you came up with? Maybe not Jalen Brunson. I know. I don't know who on the list. Trey Young. Yeah, is Trey Young higher than you expected you to have him?
Yes. Okay. Trey Young, Curry, SGA. Trey Young, Curry, SGA. Man, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one.
I'm seeing Halliburton in the chat. I'm not hearing Halliburton from you.
I don't think he goes ahead of Devin Booker. I don't.
I'm not hearing Dollar. Is there no damn Dollar in this? No. Yes.
I'm not sure if Dame goes ahead of Devin Booker.
I'm not hearing.
I'm not sure. I think Irv, in terms of a guard, I'd take Irv. I'd take Irv over Devin Booker. I would. That's like 6 or 7 right there.
No Jamal Murray, no.
Not over Devin Booker.
And you said no to Edwards already, right?
Not yet. He ain't there yet.
Okay. So yeah, I can't think of anybody else. Jaylen Brown.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
Right. I think he's around between 7 to 10. I do. I think he's between 7 to 10. Yeah. Now that I think about it, because all of those other guards, I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like Devin Booker is in the conversation for the best 2 guard in the game. But in terms of the best guard, I feel like the lead guard, I think it's a lot heavier than the 2 guard.
I'm getting 2 more names from the chat: Paul George, De'Aaron Fox.
I never thought Paul George was a 2 guard. I always thought he was a small forward. Never,
small forward.
Never looked at Paul George as a small forward. I mean, as a 2 guard. I always had the small forward spot.
Where's De'Aaron in this?
Him also. I think I'd put Booker ahead of Devin Booker like this though.
Wait, Devin this much in front of Fox?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got another super chat from Pluto World. Who do you think will win the NCAA tournament? And RIP to my Kentucky Wildcats. Cat got to get it together.
Cal got to get it together. That's twice in 3 years. A 15 seed and a 13 seed. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm good. And you talk about being biased. When it comes to the NCAA tournament, I am a bit biased off the strength that UConn, their head basketball coach, I grew up with him, so I'm a little bit biased toward UConn.
And it looks like they're going places. So
they do.
Yeah, shout out to UConn. I really wish I would have tapped in more into men's NCAA this year. I watched a lot of women's this year. Didn't really pay too much. Looks like I missed a lot of good players, a lot of good teams this year. They say the draft is watered down, but I'm hearing a lot of good kids coming out. So
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and just to be clear, you do still have Donovan Mitchell ahead of Devin Booker?
I do. Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, let's get back to the lobby. Let's see who we got coming up next. We got Context Matters. Yo, Tex, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm here. What's the word, fellas? Am I
running good, Tex?
Yeah, you tell me.
What's going on? What's going on, man? Salute, man.
What up? Get Tim Hardaway off the floor.
Yeah.
Get Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all said that. I like Tim Hardaway.
You know what's crazy, Chill? Low key, he remembered he could hoop. He finally remembered. Oh, I can make shots today. It's 1 out of every 7 games. I'm not moved by that.
Excuse me for 1 second.
He's low key.
Keep talking.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. He's literally the litmus test of how the shooting is gonna go for that day. One day is cool, one day is not. Ox is still recovering from that belt to ass. But it's all good though. That's the name of the game. That was one of the things I was harping on too was De'Aaron Fox. And I know Ox have seen this too. Like we've seen De'Aaron Fox be engaged defensively. This felt like it was lackluster on the detail side, right? Letting backdoor screens get you, things like that. Not really kind of like olaying defense, giving too much of an angle on certain drives, things like that. I feel like he wasn't like locked in because I think he's a way better defender than people give him credit for. In college, he was locking up. Like I think he's, in my opinion, I think he's probably waiting for the playoffs. It might be one of those things where it's like we're running this type of offense. It's too fast paced. You know what I'm saying? I got to be an engine. I got to be, attacking the rim, things of that nature. And I want to save my legs. It's about to be, we only got 10 to 15 games left anyway. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when we see the playoffs, it's going to lock in and turn on. So I'm not worried about D Fox. I am worried about Sabonis though. Without the shooters there, we have to see more aggression out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like him turning down these passes, and I understand, running to your offense and looking for the shooters. Yeah, I get it. But, like, it's time for you to just assert your dominance on certain situations. You know what I mean? And you are that engine that hums. And if you don't impose your will, and that's what it's really about in the playoffs, imposing your wills for 4 straight wins. You know what I'm saying? And if Deontay Sabonis doesn't impose his will, to be fair, like, Alex Len, he's a good big man, but he's not a physical, like he plays physical, but he's not a dominant post presence. You get what I'm saying? Versus Sabonis, who's that dominant presence. And if you don't play like that, bully all the time, it's shaky on that. Also, I don't know if you guys did it last time. I asked how do you guys feel about between Keegan Murray and Trey Murphy? I love what I'm seeing from the Pelicans, even though they lost yesterday. I like how they competed. Like you said, Chill, that point Zion thing, it's a thing. However, OKC found ways to neutralize it. They found ways to neutralize it with deflections, playing the passing lanes, switching some guys, pushing him further away from the 3-point line. He's gonna have to develop some type of a 1-2 like dribble pull up. If he could get that little, you know what I mean? He can hit those like maybe twice a game, and he's good. You know what I mean? The rest of it could just be drives. I think he just needs to just change it up a little bit. What's your thoughts on the point Zion thing? And who do you like more, Trey Murphy or Keegan Murray?
I really like Zion at the league guard. I really do, because I feel like he gives them an additional playmaker, and he makes CJ better, because CJ's always been better off the ball. Always been better off the ball.
He's not a one.
Yeah, he's not. He's always been better off the ball. He played off the ball when he was with Dame, and he was 20 a game. So I actually like the dynamic of Zion at the league guard spot. I feel like, and I said this to Ox earlier, I feel like I'm asking Keegan Murray to do more than he's ready to do right now, because I keep forgetting he's only in year 2. I feel like he could be.
Quick question to that question, because I asked the question. The reason why, and I agree with that statement in terms of the learning curve. But do you feel like Trey is already more advanced in reading defense? Do you think it's because, in my opinion, I think Trey's a little bit more athletic than Keegan Murray. So I think that kind of helps out around like just attacking, things of that nature. Do you think it's just more so just a learning curve that the offense probably communication, things of that nature?
Yeah. No, I feel like with Keegan Murray, he's got way more responsibility than Trey Murphy does. I mean, Trey Murphy is a long ball shooter coming off the bench, cracking the long ball, and he doesn't have nearly the responsibility that Keegan Murray has, both offensively and defensively. So it's going to look a lot different. Maybe the potential for him to be, not just a rotation guy, but to be a starter. That's why I feel like with Keegan Murray, I'm asking too much from him right now, off the strength that he's been so good. And the Sacramento team is good. I expect him to be better than what he really is, instead of letting the progression happen. But when you're on a team that's as good as, when you're on a team as good as Sacramento and you're a playoff team, there's really not a lot of room for error. Like you got to be better, and you got to be better now. If he was in Toronto, if he was in Portland, I think we're having a different conversation about it.
Right. But Tex, I just got some messages from up top, bro. We got to shut it down a minute early. Y'all forgive me for the abrupt ending, but appreciate y'all. All right, Tex, appreciate you pulling up.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, brother. No doubt.
Yeah. If you in the lobby, y'all check us out on Saturday. Make sure you click the link early. Just had an abrupt ending, y'all. Apologies. We'll check y'all next time. Chilltown.
Hey.
Oh,
drink water, put on a suit, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother?
Do that.
And if you drinking and driving, hey, listen, you need a ride? It's my man right here. You in the area? Pick the phone up. He'll come scoop
Do
you.
that.
He will
sure.
come scoop you. He got you. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely.
All right,
guys.
y'all. We'll
No
check
doubt.
out next.